Enlightenment, I'm going to suggest you a way of seeing this that is achievable by anyone, everywhere, anytime. You don't need to sit to meditate. You don't need a guru. You don't need to even understand text or complex cultural baggage. And you hear about this before. You may not have completely understand exactly what to do or how to do about it. Probably not going to be able to cover everything in this video, but think about first what the closest idea you could have of in your life about enlightenment. And not what you read about it. I'm talking about what you actually live in your life. Think about the highest moment, the highest state you could remember in your life. Well, that state is the foundation of your life. It's the grounding. And everything else, education and your life experiences, go on top of it. So we are sitting in our alignment, on our alignment. We are resting, worried in a bed full of happiness. But we don't notice because we are distracted. And anyway, the way to go around this in a practical way, it is to get out of the illusion of the hypnosis of getting stuff. Think about your goals. Think about our plans to be happy. Basically, everything is a kind of a survival thing. I want to be comfortable. I want to get more money. I want to reach this thing. I want everybody to love me because I will get a medal in the Olympics. Anything that you think that's what you want, most of the time you only want it for one reason, because you think you will get closer to the mundane version of enlightenment that is just perfect happiness. The problem is that we know probably not going to be happy forever, even when you reach all your goals. That's something we forgot to keep in mind while we're sacrificing this moment to reach a perfect future. So first thing, realize that there's something in you that knows enlightenment. So it's not an awkward idea in a book. You don't need to agree with everything. You just need to honestly look deep inside of yourself. What is the higher standard you can reach, and base your strategy on that. Don't try to aim from an ideal of walking on water or some stuff you read. It's not important. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that you reach the highest state in yourself. So start from what you remember. Maybe it was a moment. And I want to reframe that moment into, instead of that moment happened because certain people were there, because you didn't have any problem, because no, I'm going to say, think of that moment as a moment where you allow yourself to give yourself. By giving yourself, I mean give your full attention to what's happening, and please do it now. Just give yourself to this moment completely. For that, you will need to sacrifice your thoughts. You will need to surrender your worries and your plannings and your escaping and your fixing. And just for a second, just rest, immerse in this moment. You may find that when you do sports, when you make love, when you have fun with friends, when you watch something, a movie that excites you, something that drives you naturally into that state of, I'm just here and everything is just cool now. Well, just cultivate that state. Say, okay, you may understand that already. How you do it? Well, I normally suggest to meditate because I do believe that's the most stable, long-term, applicable strategy. And yet, there's this other way of seeing this that is very simple and easy and is achievable by anyone. You don't even need training or meditation. Meditation can look very complex, and that it's going to take a long time to train your mind. But I'm going to suggest you to focus on your heart. Your heart has a lot more power than your mind. So, in a Western understanding, in the Tibetan understanding, for example, the heart is also the mind. So that's what I'm trying to refer. I'm talking about your emotions. I'm talking about your feelings. What you feel now. What do you feel now? How do you feel now? So when you absorb your attention in your mind, we kind of suffer because we miss being alive here and now. And you say, okay, you understand that. You saw Eckhart Tolle's videos or books. You know, this whole thing of don't think much, just be present. You get that. Okay. But something that even I would say most meditators don't fully get is that we're talking about love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about love. Think about things you love. Isn't it love the highest emotion? The reason why I choose love instead of happiness, because happiness seems to be just like a passive state where you are just, someone makes you comfortable and then you're happy because you're warm and you have everything you want to eat. No, loving is a more dynamic energy in two directions, and that is a very important distinction. So the key point to completely revolutionize your life is to love everything. And you'll see how clearly your mind rebels against that and say, no, I don't want to love that person. No, right now I don't feel like loving. That's like forcing myself to be grateful. Or okay, keep it simpler. What do you like? Start from that. Maybe sometimes when you're low, you don't feel like being positive. Don't be positive. You don't feel positive. Don't be positive. Don't force yourself to pretend that you are something you're not living at the moment. Because if you will relax your mind when you're negative, you really, really will be able to relax your mind. The natural aliveness of the moment will start pouring up into your awareness, and you will start feeling content, peaceful, and so on until you develop more and more. But you can do that already in the most simple way. You don't need a Buddha to explain you the secrets of meditation or some secret strategy for liberate whatever karma, all these things that seem to be kind of complex on their own. You just need to love. That's your only job. And when you love, in the sense of you appreciate, you like, you not only like, you're super excited about it, but you cultivate from, oh, that's cool, to little by little, think about a song you found one time that now you profoundly love. In the beginning, you were just curious about it, right? And you just allow it to grow it in you. So in the same way, you can cultivate and love many things in your life. And if you start investing your attention in these little bits of things of your life that you actually appreciate, you start contradicting all these selfish dynamics in our mind. And little by little, you release yourself and you realize that that love that apparently you're giving to other people or to things, in the moment that you give it, you realize that you actually have it. That's the only way you can discover that you are love. And when you give yourself, you sort of strengthen your experience of it as if it was in a gym. This is not an accurate analogy, but just for the moment. Think about if you will cultivate or nurture your tendency to pay attention. That's how you appreciate. You pay attention. It's not something you repeat to yourself. Thanks God, or thanks life, or thanks the universe for giving me this. Okay, fine, but that's a thought still. Real appreciation and love is something that is an experience that unites you with that thing you are appreciating. Something more profound, and you love it. You know this already. I'm not convincing you of anything. You know very well that we're talking about the most beautiful thing in life, the thing that you actually want. The point here is that it's not things that stimulate in you that attitude. The key to enlightenment is to discover that it's you who actually, by giving yourself, giving your attention, you don't necessarily have to give your money away if you don't need it. You need it. that you can give something way more valuable, that is your time, is your attention. But you can, not just with people, you can do it with everything. You can be your home and you're saying, wow, I love this stuff that I have. And start going in that direction. Not because you say it. You can maybe use words in the beginning to tap into that, but just nurture the attention, the giving. You're giving yourself away. You're surrendering to the moment. And in that surrendering, you realize you are abundant by nature. Your state of aliveness is already flooded with love and happiness. And I know this sounds very cheesy, but I'm sorry, I can't find better words. These words, I didn't use them much before, but this, it's just that. It's just the best you can imagine. And people have misused these words in songs and for business. But I'm saying, fine, maybe you like freedom. I don't know, find a word that you don't have much of a friction or strong reaction, aversion against it. Just cultivate that. Give yourself freely. Why do something not because you're gonna get something in return. Just give yourself. And interestingly enough, by doing that, by cultivating this, giving yourself away in every moment, you realize that actually you're not losing anything. You're just gaining and gaining. And of course, I'm not talking about physical stuff. Yes, of course, you can give something away to someone who needs it and you don't need it. Absolutely. Or you could need it, but still you notice that it makes you happy to give it to someone who actually needs it more than you. Please do that. But I'm talking about your time and your mind, which is way more expensive than all the money that you have. So giving money to the poor, that's good, but it's not even an entry point into the reality of what we're discussing in here. I'm talking about giving yourself away. And again, let me reinforce that you're not sacrificing yourself in terms that you're losing. By giving yourself away, instead of making time for you and getting your things and give yourself away to other people. Just explore it for one day, just one day. Give yourself away for one day. Try to explore to which extent you can reverse this idea of giving and receiving, because we are trapped in this illusion that I give you and you give me. I give you and you give me. No, what you want, you have it already, but you can only know that you have it because you give it. So we are locked in a mentality where we have to give. I love you more than you love me. We get into that mentality, business mentality, then you are going to end up very poor in emotions. So I don't want to make this longer, but definitely contact me. I make these public postings, of course, to help other people. I hope this makes sense to you, and I hope you collect the courage to test, because you know it is true. You know this is not just someone telling you. Don't believe me. Who am I? Just a guy in your screen. I'm saying actually try it, because you know it is true. Just find your way. I'm not saying you're going to find it right away. Your mind is going to fight. Your conditioning is going to fight against it tremendously. But find a way of putting your attention in things that you love, and little by little you will be able to extend that, and you will notice that you love more things. The more you love, the more things you love, and the more you love them. And that's the way you can get to feel only love. And when you consider everything and everyone as important as yourself, that's enlightenment.